everybody, and welcome back to the Rob Talks podcast. And this is episode 13. Now, episode 13 is going to be all about what is expression and why should we think about expression within our lives. So, firstly, why is expression such an important thing that we need to have in our lives, and what even is it? Expression, simply put, is literally expressing yourself. It's allowing you to be you and to do things that allow you to just go into a flow state that makes you feel better and that makes you feel happier. Now, expression can be done in so many different ways, and the most simplest way that is related in terms of when we're trying to look after our mental health and mental well-being is expression through talking. So it's quite ironic in the fact of that with the nature of running a podcast like this allows me to express myself on YouTube, on Instagram, wherever it may be, Spotify. It allows me to have these moments, have these evenings and this time to be able to express my thoughts. And so in doing this, it actually makes me feel happier. Now, why is that? It's because it allows my thoughts that are kind of burdening on my mental well-being to be portrayed out to the world and to tell even at points how I'm feeling or what I feel about a certain topic. And in doing that, it just allows you to feel as though you're talking to someone else in a weird way. It allows you to stop burdening any kind of thoughts that may be burdening you and allows you to kind of pass them on in a way. Now, it is important that, of course, in the case of talking, that you know that you are doing it with somebody that is able to support you as well. That's why counselors and therapy is so effective, especially when we look at mental health illnesses such as depression and anxiety. It's incredibly important to be involved in those kind of therapies. And those therapies don't work for everybody, but they work for the majority. And it's because it's allowing you to be able to express yourself and express your inner feelings, your inner thoughts, just anything that may be going on within your life. So finding times where you can even, dare I say, talk to yourself and be able to have times of where you can just talk. You can record on an audio recording your thoughts for the day, a bit like journaling, or you can actually write them down. Or you can even meet up with a friend, like have a weekly coffee, or go to a group where you know that you feel safe and that you can say how you're feeling or what is really in your head, to just allow yourself to not be kind of trapped in this state of where you have to take on everything. Because we live in a crazy world and we all live different lives. Some people's lives are probably perceiving as though they're going great right now. Some people are probably perceiving their lives as though they're not going great at all. And because of this, we need to help each other. Human connection is so important and expression is so important. And that's why talking, and especially the whole thing around the taboo of mental health and talking about your mental health, is so, so important. But there are other ways that you can be expressive. Now, naturally, with the nature of the word, most of the time, if you think of expression, you think of art or design or theatre and kind of any kind of creative arts. And that's true as well. It has been shown that when you're able to express yourself in a creative way, be it making music and you make a song that has really your thoughts and feelings put into that, or you create an art sculpture or paint on a canvas and paint how you feel. There are so many ways that you can get how you are feeling or what you are thinking about and express it in a creative way. And I really believe in this massively, because when I was at school, I did lots of acting and lots of singing. I try and keep my singing up now. Annoyingly, I haven't done as much acting over the years. I need to get back to that at some point. And there's a massive thing that I found, that when you play a different character, or you know that you have to hit upon a certain emotion, By really focusing in on the role and how you're going to play that emotion, it allows you to actually feel better in a really weird way. So if there are moments of where you have to be authentically angry on stage, I know that I was probably angry about something if it came across really convincingly. Or if you were really upset, that can be another case of it. Or even if you're really happy, whatever it may be, the emotions that you have to play as an actor or an actress massively allow you to actually express in a way things that you've felt in your past, but also in things that you are feeling in this current moment, in your current situation of life. And I genuinely think that's why, when I was doing a lot of acting, I realized that the best actors and the best actresses were always the ones that were able to, in some cases, dredge up feelings or emotions from the past to be able to portray the feeling or emotion on stage for a particular character. They're always the best performances because they are practically not far off from being real. But that's why expression is so important. I even do it with my singing. And of course, singing and music it's something that humans just, it's really weird. We just connect to it really well. We really connect with music and beat and rhythm. And it's quite interesting, just to give you an interesting fact, that we are the only mammals, I believe, that are able to actually understand beat. So we are able to understand a beat of hitting a drum at a certain pace. But if you try to get a chimpanzee to do the same, they can't stick to the beat. They can hit the drum, but they can't stick to the beat. They also don't understand rhythm the way we do as well. And that then leads us to singing, it leads us to dancing, it leads us to creating performances that ultimately are all ways that we can express ourselves. So if you are a creative out there, do not be disheartened with your creativity and the things that you do, or even if you feel as though you're not someone who is a creative, however small or however much of a side thing it is that you may do some knitting, or that you like to sing in the shower, whatever it is, whatever may be your little creative outlet. I mean, even in today's world, it could be that you love just creating TikTok videos, even if you don't post them. Allowing yourself to be creative is a great way of expressing yourself and being able to put your emotions, your feelings, and your thoughts into something. And the last thing I wanted to touch upon as an example is also sport. And sport can be actually quite a big way of expressing ourselves. And I mean, with everybody who's involved, all of the stakeholders that are involved within sport, the actual players, or the player in some cases of where it's very much a singular sport, but also involving commentators, involving fans, involving people learning about the sport. There are so many people that are involved within sports that allows us to express ourselves. It allows the football player, for example, to go out on the pitch, to score a goal and to celebrate in a such a passionate way because they're putting everything they can into that sport. It can be as simple as even something that's more singular, as a martial arts fighter or somebody like that within the Olympics. You can see the emotions that they go through because of how much grit and determination and passion they have for that sport to try and win that gold medal or to become the world champion. We see it time and time again. And even within sport, we see fans. We see community coming together. We see how that we can sing chants, or more likely shout chants, very badly, especially in England. Uh, but we can allow ourselves to be part of this community that makes us feel as though we're not just individuals anymore. We are one supporting a team. And that expression that you're able to have as a fan, and I don't mean just within football, it can be within loads of different sports. I know for one that I'm passionate about mountain biking, and you get some strange fans in mountain biking who set off fireworks. They'll take chainsaws without the actual chain bit just to make the noises that a chainsaw makes. I've seen people with cowbells, all sorts. Whatever it may be, the fans can be involved as well, and it's your way of expressing your passion for that sport. And so I think sport is also a massive angle of where you can allow yourself to express yourself. And so these are just three potential areas that you can express yourself. And I think that they're so important and that we don't think about it enough. We think about the idea of talking as being laborious, and we're much more likely to just stick our heads into our phones and just consume whatever may be on social media rather than having a deep conversation or even just normally talking to the person sat next to you or sat across from you. And so we need to allow for more of those conversations, for you to put the phone away or to just have those authentic chats with your friends, with your mates, with whoever may be with you. We have to allow ourselves to be creative, because I know so many people out there who are creative, but they don't allow themselves to be because they've got this label bestowed upon them of that they are X thing, that they do X thing, which isn't creative. It's sporty, or it's really businessy, or it's X thing, which can't be seen as creative. Don't be defined by that label. If you love to do something that's really creative and it allows you to express yourself, go for it. And for one, you don't have to look at every creative thing as that you have to put yourself out there. Theoretically, anybody can act without having to do it in front of an audience. You can do it in the mirror. You can do it to the wall if you really wish. You can find so many ways that you can be creative, both to show off to the world, but also just to keep it as your little thing, as a thing that you do for yourself. And ultimately, that's what expression is about so much. And that can clash within creative industries as well, because we see it as purely that you make something or you do something for others. It's not just for others. It's not just for the audience. It's not just for the fans or whoever is looking at whatever you have created, whatever it may be. It is also for yourself, allowing yourself to express how you may be feeling. What are your inner thoughts? Expressing yourself in the medium that you wish to do so. And with sport, sport is such a beautiful communal thing that we have to understand that sport is a brilliant way to break down barriers. We can make sport accessible so that literally anybody across the world can try sport. There are so many times of where I have seen videos of where there are just brilliant videos, especially in the relation to football, because football, of course, is such a popular sport across the globe. But it's amazing to see how a kid in the UK who has just bought a football from Sports Direct can get involved and eventually become a Premier League player. But also someone, for example, within Brazil, within the favelas, who may not be able to even afford a football, is able to make one and be able to go and play with their friends and still be able to be as good as the kid who's in the UK. It is amazing. It's amazing to see how sport can bring us together and really can allow you to have that opportunity to let off steam, to express yourself, and to just have fun. Now, why do I say that? It's because there is so much within expression that is actually leading to your happiness. I'm not saying express yourself for just the sake of it. I'm saying it because it allows you to help your mental well-being. By not burdening your mind with all of these negative thoughts, or maybe you've just not had a great day, you can allow yourself to express yourself in a different medium to really get rid of those horrible feelings you may be having, to get rid of those thoughts, or even it's an opportunity for you to process them, which may be easier for you to do in a different medium rather than just talking to somebody. Because I know so many people who are kind of, you see therapy as taboo, and that's okay. Or you may see that therapy doesn't work for you. Talking to a psychologist doesn't work for you. That's okay, because there are actually other ways that you can process what you're thinking, what you're feeling. I've been asked so many times of where I go running and people go, wow, Rob, if you're running for that kind of distance, what are you thinking about? What do you think I am thinking about? What's most likely going to come into my head? It doesn't matter how long the distance is or how much I try to distract myself. Of course, my own thoughts are going to come into my head and they're going to come to the forefront of when I'm running. Even within a race, they would. And that's why I love running, because it's my sport, it's my form of exercise to be able to let go of some of the emotions I may be feeling or some of the negative thoughts that are burdening my brain, that are burdening my mental well being. But it also allows me to process them. It's a great way to distract, but also for me to process what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. And it's just a different way of doing it than having to talk to somebody or forcing myself to journal. Because journaling is great, but sometimes you don't want to do it every day. I'd much rather go out on a run some days, and some days I'd much rather just write on a piece of paper. Whatever it is, you have to find the ways that you can express yourself. Find those little nuggets that you have in life that are these golden nuggets of joy and these flow states that allow you to be able to allow yourself to just be you, to have fun, to be happy. It's so important. And I'm sure you can hear it in my voice and you can see it in my face if you're watching on YouTube. I am so passionate about this because I've forever been somebody within my short life of 21 years and more that has always been so passionate about being creative and empowering people to be creative, but also empowering people to talk and empowering people even within sport. I've always been that kid of when I was younger that I never saw myself as the sporty kid. I always saw myself purely as the creative kid. But that changed when I explored. I tried new sports, I tried new things. And at school, I started to realize, oh, I could do this sport and I could feel better afterwards. But I also found how I could do that within my acting and my singing. I found how I could do it in rugby, how I could do it in football or badminton or cricket, whatever sport it may be. Actually, now thinking about it, I've probably found it a lot as well within mountain biking in particular and climbing. Just allowing myself to have those moments of expression. And from all those things that kind of within creativity and within sport, this is my medium for a little bit of creativity, but most importantly, talking. Talking to whoever may be listening right now and letting you know it's okay if you have something that maybe you're a bit nervous about telling the world about, that you just feel as though you want to express yourself or you want to do the thing that's going to allow you to express yourself, but you're worried about what others think. You don't have to put it out there. You can just do what you want to do and express yourself that way. Trust me, there are so many YouTube videos who have not made it onto this channel because I've just expressed myself through the medium of talking, through the medium of podcasting in a way, or vodcasting in a way, and they've just not made it. I've made so many little films over the years, and I think I didn't realize it until even within the last couple of years of how much I actually love this medium of video, because so many of those videos are just sat on a hard drive. And so many of them are of holidays, of moments with friends, of great times. And I just loved being the person that was involved in filming and editing and talking. That was my way of expressing myself. And I know that you can find ways in your life too to express yourself, to really allow yourself to authentically do what you want to do and do activities that ultimately make you happier, but also help your mental well-being. You have been listening to the Rob Talks podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow, subscribe, like, whatever it may be, so that you never miss an episode. And I will see you next week.
You have just been listening to the Rob Talks podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and please make sure to subscribe and give me a follow on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, or even LinkedIn. And I will speak with you soon. Stay safe and have a great week.